So I see HBO decided to dump us on a streaming service like the cold, dead, lifeless body that it is. Hi, we're back. So we started out okay this year, movie-wise, talking about like Black History stuff. But January's caught up with us. Or like post-January, kind of sort of February, because who knows what time is anymore.
Yeah, it is nothing but a construct. Who cares?
And now we're on to The Little Things, which is the newest dumpster fire that HBO decided it didn't really care enough to put in theaters. It is still in theaters. I just can't imagine anyone actually paying money to go see this.
Yeah, I'm really glad we didn't have to pay for this.
Oh, can you imagine how bad this would have been in the theater?
Oh God, I would have just been doing my usual squirming in my chair. Like, I'm tired. I want to go to the bathroom. Can I get some ice cream?
This is what I'm just now realizing. I'm the dad in this dynamic all the time. Like, we're all tired. Sit down and shut up. I want to go home. Me too. We're still paid good money for this tickets. God damn it. We're gonna watch the whole thing. Now eat your fucking M&Ms
from a radio show contest.
Eat your fucking M&Ms and shut up. It's very abusive.
God, I wish I had M&Ms. I would have been happier.
Oh my God, what kind of horrible abusive father image am I making for myself right now?
But in all seriousness, though, it's like this is one of those movies where like nothing happens.
God, this movie is so boring. Like, it's been a while since I was like this obscenely bored watching something.
Yeah, it's what this reminds me of.
What's that?
The best way to describe this is this plays out exactly like Seven, except nothing interesting.
I think you're giving this too much credit because
in terms of like the plot beats, think about it. We got the older cop kind of teaming up with the older calmer cop teaming up with a younger hotshot, all trying to go follow this cop, follow this guy they suspect is a killer. And spoiler alert, the killer basically eggs on the younger cop's ego to the point where it gets him killed.
At least the killer's actually the killer, other than spoiler alert, where it turns out we just wasted 2 hours of our time to accomplish absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like I get that whole, oh, is he or isn't he? But in this case, like, we just don't care.
We don't care, and it's just so... Oh, God. I'm struggling to stay awake right now, guys. If you look at me and I just look like I just had way too much to drink, it's not. I'm fucking sleepy. And I just right now is like, God, I could not give less of a fuck about this movie. Because not only that, like, I feel like the ending would have upset me more if I just cared, even remotely, even halfway through, or even it was bad enough to keep me engaged. Like hate watching it, like Tax Collector or something like that, like this piece of shit. But not even that. This is more of just 2 hours of, okay, he's slowly walking over to look at the thing. He's looking at the thing. Still looking at the thing.
We're talking about things. We're making no progress. There's no real mystery. It's just a case of, we're pretty sure this guy is the guy that did it, but we're not going to give you a really strong clue either way. We're just going to make him be like, you know what? They're going in that case, they're going the 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri route, where the guy was probably a scumbag, just not a scumbag for this case, but we don't know.
At least 3 billboards had more to do.
Exactly. No, that was all about character development. This is just like, as we constantly joked, 2 detectives who may or may not have liked each other and were trying to cut a certain tension.
The most interesting thing about this story was the story I invented for them.
Yes.
Even
the movie was kind of like going into it. We're just like
this doe-eyed lovers between Rami Malek and Denzel Washington, who have like the most sexual chemistry more than anyone else in the movie. Even the dude with his wife.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, his wife and kids are right there, but he only has eyes for Denzel, man. That little French bulldog just can't fucking wait.
I can't believe you didn't know about that joke. Yeah, once you go online, it's gonna.
I mean, I don't even need to look at the picture. I can already see it.
I know, but it's funnier when you see the comparison pictures.
Oh god, but like really, that was the only thing that was keeping me remotely awake because I would just every time like they'd have some kind of scene when they kind of bouncing off each other a little bit, like, all right, now keys. Like I ship it.
Oh, like even the movie acknowledged it when like Jared Leto's character recalled.
I mean, it honestly would have made it a more interesting movie.
I'm sorry, I found that funny because like we were kind of making South Park jokes throughout, and then the movie decided to make one on its own merits.
Yeah,
it was like just bravo, you read our minds, movie.
I just wish it was more interesting to lean into that shit more, man. Oh god, it's
just
like I can tell. I almost call him Denzel Malik, and I know it's not right. Rami Malek is like trying to do something with this. Denzel doesn't look like he gives a shit. Even Jared Leto, being as nut job as he is, also looks like he couldn't give less of a shit about being here.
Yeah, it's like I will give Denzel's lucky that he has like even when he's kind of schlumming it, he has that like natural charisma that kind of like still saves him. But it's like, God damn it, even when you're not trying, you're still freaking likable in your own way, and I don't know how the hell you do it.
It's just like there's just nothing here to grab you. Even the central mystery is just boring and lifeless. Even like there's nothing to this. This movie has a dead pulse. It is just even the scenes where they have like the dramatic music playing, like the tension building music. It's just them slowly driving around, fucking with each other on different sides of the highway. That's the entire action sequence. That's it. That's all you get. And it's like, good God, will something happen? Make it at least funny.
Speaking of which, on the technical side of things, it's like
it's not even good. Like it's
like the editing felt kind of weird at times. Like it was oddly choppy at times, in certain segments.
Some part of like straight out like a student-led film at the times.
Yeah, like there were points where like you could see instead of making like a smooth transition, they did like weird little just like mini skips like within a scene that was happening, and it just I was like, why?
Some shots, like I said, some like shots straight out like a cheap budget college project too, and
it's a shame because like they had some great cinematography. I'll give them that. Like it looks not but yeah, there's that. The music felt off at times. Like you could tell they had this like not interesting, but at least fitting tense music, and then someone's just like, I'm gonna put in a jazz piano. Like something out of like they took the piano from Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, just like put it in this thing. It was just like, no.
Sure. I don't know enough about the game. I've never played it. So,
but
I've seen plenty of clips, but I've never played it. But I'm just like, even now, just talking about it, I'm literally falling asleep while I'm talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been this bored since Exodus.
Oof.
Yeah, I know we're going all the way back on that one, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We had to sit through that in theaters. Like, if we had to sit through this in a theater, dear God, would this have been the longest 2 hours of my life? At least on this, I can actually just look at my phone.
I'll still say, though, at least it still fell shorter than a frickin' Medea movie.
At least I'm awake for that.
Man, I remember my flailing in the theater.
Grant.
But yeah, it's just like there were so many more interesting things that were happening to distract me from this movie that I just like couldn't focus. It's like there's no character development either.
No, it's like the movie ends up right back where it started, except slightly different.
Yeah, it's
2 hours. The ending makes the entire 2 hours you spend with these characters completely moot and pointless.
Yeah.
It's not as downright insulting as the ending to Archive is, but it's also not that far off in terms of, well, that was meaningless.
Yeah.
And I get what they're going for. I mean, the symbolism and the metaphors and the meanings are all blatantly obvious to go, hey, obsession ruins your life. Hey, obsession leads you nowhere, yada, yada, yada. But for the love of God, do something with that.
Yeah, because this is the other thing. So other plot twist is there's this whole thing where Denzel's trying to find a killer, and he's equating it to this same person, possibly. And in the middle of it, you find, they give some hints that like something's up, but like after a while, they just kind of leave it completely alone. And it turns out that, apparently he accidentally killed one of the people that was kind of listed as a victim.
Mm.
And it was just like, it was a lame twist because like they'd already kind of hinted at it, but then you just completely forget about it because they also kind of leave it alone. God. Like after they kind of lay the groundwork, it's like there needed to be the problem is there needed to be a constant like push and pull. Like this whole story is like, as they get closer to finding the truth about this person, it threatens to unveil more stuff about what his deal is. But it doesn't. It never gets close to unveiling that or putting him in any sort of danger.
There's no tension. There's no drive. There's no escalation.
Exactly.
Or like there is escalation, but even that is very muted. This movie has no idea what tension even means.
Yeah.
It seems to be like slow plotting, like monotonous bullshit, just like shot interestingly enough, is enough to carry an action sequence. There's a whole fucking scene where he's like Denzel is trying to explore Jared Leto's apartment while he's out at a bar, and Jared Leto figures out about it and calls in the cops on him. And instead of like having this tense scene of him trying to evade the cops, we watch Denzel slowly climb on the roof. He's still crawling on the roof. The cops don't see him. Now he hops off the roof. It is so long and tedious that there's a point where Jared Leto and Malik just straight up look at each other like, yeah, I'm seeing the same thing you are, motherfucker. Yeah, I know. It's still going.
It's like, how do the cops not see him up there? I don't know, man.
It's like Jared Leto's literally watching Denzel slowly move through this while drinking something out of a sippy cup. It's insultingly slow. And then he slowly crabs down a drain pipe and then cops in a car and gets away. That's it. That's the entire action sequence.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can make up for that. The drama is at least interesting, but oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. I felt like the moment something interesting could have happened was the ending. That felt like that should have been the end of the first act right there. And like they could have just went off and made an Insomnia ripoff.
At least there'd been something.
Exactly. Like the whole idea of like we learn more about this guy by like him trying to save Rami Malek's ass after Rami like loses temper and kills him by accident. And just this whole thing of like we see it's like, oh, you are not like, oh, Denzel, you are not a good cop.
It's funny.
Instead of just being a crappy cop, like by tailing someone while wearing your freaking sheriff's hat.
So might as well wear t-shirts. I am not the police. Don't worry about it.
And
so I always think of that. It's funny. I was watching Tangled with a few friends the other night, and we were joking around about how like there's no set. Like it was like kind of ripping off Dario O'Brien. It was like there's no set to stun on a frying pan. Same goes for a shovel. It's like you're either gonna hurt and anger him, or you're gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Sure enough, bang, dead. It's like all right, at least it's realistic that way. Which would be more interesting, like literally any other way. Even then, that renders that entire character pointless. Just makes him a very expensive troll. Yeah. So I assume they had to give a fair budget to get him in this fucking thing.
Yeah.
It can't be for artistic integrity.
Yeah. Speaking I gotta there's like a lot of stupid people / elements in this thing as well. Like the girl in the opening, who admittedly we both thought was going to get killed, doesn't get killed after she pulls over to a gas station that is clearly closed instead of trying to book the hell out of Dodge from this car that's following her.
Which, by the way, it goes nowhere.
Yeah. Was that the same box that... Sorry, just random thought. I was like, I just remember there's like that green toolkit box. I'm trying to think, was that the same shit that the guy in the beginning had? If that was trying to be like that weird loose connected
Yeah, Jared Leto also had one in his apartment, though. It was the 90s. I'm guessing all tough truck men had them.
Yeah, which is fair. But so anyway, she runs out, gets to the middle of the road where a truck finds her and she's saved. Then she becomes a witness because someone can't properly bring the guy into an interrogation room without letting the witness possibly see him to avoid, not tampering, but the whole idea of like witness bias. I can't remember what the exact term is, but it basically created an unfair bias. They can't use the testimony and shit like that. Or the whole fact where Rami Malek decides to get in the car with the suspect.
Yeah. But his butt body's not invited.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other annoying thing. It was just like, so, Mr. Malik, why?
Don't mark words. That is Jared Leto's line.
Exactly. And it was just like, so tell me, why didn't you cuff him if you suspected him of something? Granted, he didn't have any grounds for it, but you're already breaking some laws there anyway. It just forced him to take you there, but I don't know. It's the fact that like he just willingly endangered himself by getting inside a vehicle that the suspect was driving, might I add.
I'm so tired, man.
Yeah. And after all that, yeah, he snaps, accidentally kills Leto after Leto taunts him. That's when we get the reveal that Denzel accidentally shot someone who was a victim apparently that had escaped, and as stupid or crappy as it was, they basically decided to say, yeah, she was a victim of the murder, instead of saying, it's like, yeah, we legit thought that we thought it was a suspect. He opened fire. It turned out it wasn't. It was dark. It was still a possibly active crime scene. It could have been anything. I was just like,
see, like it didn't help that I worked out like shortly before I started watching this. So I was already tired from that, and then sitting through what is basically a 2-hour lullaby. Really just puts me in the right place. I know this entire video can really be condensed into old man saying, "I want to go to bed," but
it is.
But that's my only big takeaway from this is I felt nothing for this entire thing.
Yeah,
and all I could think there was big to God that something interesting would happen, and it never did. It always picked the most boring route it could find, and I like Now I get how was telling me about the other day about how he picked a lot of movies based on boredom. Now I get it, because it's been a while since I felt this empty void after watching the film. And I think it's because we got blessed. We didn't have to watch the movies in theaters last year.
Yeah. Like, am I going to say this is the worst movie ever? No,
God, no.
Dear God, it was so dull.
I mean, I almost wish it was worse, so at least I feel like I have something to talk about.
Yeah. Like with New Mutants.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, if you're gonna be bad, at least be interestingly bad,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mess up your giant CGI bear.
Yeah, like we had Psych Bear, where that was great. We mined a lot of material out of that. Like, what are we gonna sit here? Like, they have sexual tension. That is all we have. That's the only real thing that kept me awake for this whole fucking thing. Was how many times I can start saying Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time. I probably could have done it, don't worry, but I did too.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's like whenever Batman gets to Superman's face in BVS, we're like, okay, now keys.
But yeah, it's a really lame crime drama. It's like it feels like stuff just kind of plods along. Like there's no point to a lot of the stuff happening. When stuff does happen, it's, as you mentioned, it's just really slow and uninteresting.
This is a nothing burger. This is just an empty void of drained energy and muted thoughts that culminates into nothing.
Quite literally, there is no solved case. You don't get a clear definitive yes or no. And a lot of times, there are times I'm okay with that, where that's the whole point is, did they or didn't they? But here, because this movie was a lot of nothing, that nothing just felt like an additional pile on top of that.
This movie is like running in a circle in a white void. No matter how many laps you make, nothing new is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that metaphor makes sense, but whatever. It's late. I'm tired.
Yeah, we don't really care anymore.
I got nothing else for this. Do you got anything?
No, just don't watch it. It's like I said, it's competently acted. It's got some decent cinematography, but there's just it's half-assed like content at best, and just absolutely boring at worst.
This is a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's all we got for this one. We're still in the middle of catching up on a lot of shit.
Yeah. Man, I'm starting to wonder if we should have just watched Earwig and the Witch. At least then we probably could have been angry.
That could be next time.
Yeah.
We can still go like Herself. I mean, Sarah, gotta check that out. Psycho Gorman, I want to watch.
That looks fun.
Malcolm and Marie just came out this week. Space Sweepers. I mean, how are we gonna look at that one? Earwig and the Witch. The Dig is another one on Netflix we need to watch. You know, there's a lot of shit. We just finally wrapped up the 2020 shit like today, so we're gonna catch up on at the time we're recording this. So we got a lot catching up to do for 2021. So hopefully you'll get a lot more stuff lately. In the meantime, thank you all for watching, and see you guys all next time.
See ya.